The day everyone turned their back on me, I realized silence can be louder than screaming. People I trusted disappeared without explanation. Promises dissolved overnight. Truth was rewritten to make me the villain. I stood alone, betrayed by friends, abandoned by family, misunderstood by those who swore they loved me. I prayed, but heaven felt closed. I cried, but no one answered. And in the darkest moment of my life, I whispered, God, if you're real, say something. That was the night I expected nothing. And that was the night God spoke. My name is Claire. For most of my life, I believed loyalty was enough. If you loved people deeply, stayed honest, and sacrificed when it hurt, they would do the same for you. That belief shaped everything: my friendships, my marriage, my faith. I was wrong. The betrayal didn't come all at once. It never does. It arrived quietly, disguised as misunderstandings, small lies, subtle shifts in tone. A message not returned. A look held too long. Conversations that stopped when I entered the room. At first, I blamed myself. Maybe I was too sensitive, too trusting, too much. Then the truth surfaced in fragments, half confessions, rumors, accusations twisted just enough to sound believable. The people I defended began questioning me. The people I supported distanced themselves. The people who promised to stand with me stood against me. My marriage collapsed under the weight of secrets I didn't know existed. Friends I had known for years chose sides without asking questions. Family members advised me to keep the peace by staying silent. Silence, I learned, was expected of me. Because speaking truth would be inconvenient. When betrayal becomes public, loneliness becomes total. I would walk into rooms where conversations died instantly. I could feel eyes on me, curious, judgmental, satisfied. My name became a story told without my voice. Social media turned into a courtroom. Text messages went unanswered. Invitations stopped coming. I stopped explaining myself. No one was listening anyway. At night, the weight of it all crushed me. I replayed every conversation, every decision, searching for the moment everything went wrong. Sleep became impossible. Anxiety lived in my chest like a constant ache. I prayed, but my prayers were hollow. God, please fix this. God, make them understand. God, clear my name. Nothing happened. The silence hurt more than the betrayal. I began to wonder if I had been faithful to a God who had never planned to be faithful to me. The breaking point came on a rainy Tuesday night. I sat on the floor of my apartment, surrounded by boxes from a life that no longer existed. My phone buzzed with another message, another accusation, another reminder that I was alone. I didn't cry. I laughed, a hollow, broken laugh that scared me. What did I do to deserve this? I asked the empty room. I tried to do everything right. That was when the thought crept in, quiet but deadly. Maybe God isn't on my side either. I stood up, walked to the mirror, and barely recognized the woman staring back. My eyes were dull, my shoulders heavy. My faith, once strong, felt like a memory from another life, slid down the wall and whispered words I never thought I would say. God, if you were there, I can't hear you anymore. That night, something inside me gave way completely. I wasn't angry. I was empty. Days passed, then weeks. I stopped going to church. Worship songs felt dishonest. Sermons felt disconnected from real pain. Everyone talked about blessings while I was drowning, but something strange happened in the quiet, without distraction, without voices telling me who I was. I began to hear my own thoughts clearly for the first time. and beneath the noise of self-blame and fear, there was something else. A question. What if the betrayal didn't define me? I tried to ignore it, but the question returned, persistent and gentle. One evening, exhausted from fighting my own mind, I opened my Bible, not searching for comfort, but for confrontation. I needed to know if faith was real or just a coping mechanism. I landed on a verse I had read dozens of times before, but never understood. Be still and know that I am God. Be still. I hadn't been still in months. I had been defending, explaining, justifying, surviving. That night, I stopped. I didn't ask for answers. I didn't demand justice. I just sat in silence. And that's when it happened. God didn't speak loudly. There was no thunder, no vision, no dramatic sign, just clarity. A thought, not my own, settled into my heart with unexpected authority. I know the truth, and I have never left you. I froze. Tears rushed to my eyes, not from sadness, but from relief so deep it felt overwhelming. For the first time since the betrayal, I didn't feel misunderstood, felt seen. The silence that once felt like abandonment now felt like presence. I realized something crucial. God had been quiet not because he was absent, but because he was protecting me from reacting, from defending myself, from becoming bitter. That night, I cried harder than I ever had before. Not because I was broken, but because I was safe. Healing didn't happen overnight. The people who betrayed me didn't apologize. My reputation wasn't magically restored. The pain didn't vanish, but something changed. I stopped chasing validation from people who had already chosen their version of the story. I stopped measuring my worth by acceptance. I started listening. God's voice didn't accuse me. It didn't rush me. It didn't shame me. It reminded me of who I was before betrayal tried to redefine me. Slowly, joy returned, not loud joy, but steady peace. I learned to forgive, not to excuse what was done, but to release its power over me. I discovered a deeper faith, one not built on approval, but on truth. As months passed, new relationships formed, healthier ones. People who didn't need me to perform. People who listened. I found purpose in helping others who had been silenced, misunderstood, or betrayed. My pain became a bridge instead of a prison. One day, I realized something that surprised me. I was happy, not because everything was perfect, not because the past was erased, but because God had spoken and I had listened. Today, I no longer fear betrayal. I know where my identity comes from. I know whose voice matters most. When everyone turned against me, God stayed. When I was silent, he spoke. And in the place where I lost everything, I found something greater than approval, reputation, or comfort. I found God's voice. If you've been betrayed, if you've been misunderstood, if you've been silenced, hear this. God sees what others ignore. God knows the truth you don't need to defend. And God speaks most clearly when the noise falls away. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. And your story is not over.